In this short video we will use the IrisBG trial version to set up a seed bank collection in the new garden as well. So the first thing we will do is to introduce a new item type. We can do that by navigating down to the definitions and then under item types. And here you can see in the trial version we have planting and herbarium. So we're going to get another one, which we're going to call seed. And whether that's living or preserved is a interesting discussion. I'll put it as living just for, and then we need to give it an image. That's not so important, but I think I might be able to find something here just quickly. Just going to do blue here just for the sake of, but don't worry about that if it's not so important. This will show up in the screen. So I'm saving this, and the next thing we need to do is to introduce status for this type. So I'm going to go in here. You see that we have herbariums, have 3. Now for seeds, it depends a bit of whether you're going to do germination, those kind of things, but I'm just going to put up a simple setup here by just hitting plus and then changing that to seed. And we're going to go and say just OK. And when I save this, you will see that it will be slightly reorganized with seed coming down at the bottom here. And then I'm going to put in another one. I'm just going to have a few examples. I mean, obviously you can add whatever you like. I'm just going to have the most sort of probable I'm not sure if this is the most important. I just call it removed, I think. So, so these are typical scenarios, I would assume. After we've done that, we need to tell the system that you're going to use these item types. With the trial version, if we go up to management and collections, you will see that there are 2 collections set up. It's the herbarium and the trial garden. So we're going to add a new collection here, which is going to be the seed collection. So I'm going to put that up by just clicking a plus here, and then just call it demo institution is seed, or I just call it seed for the time being. Collection name seed bank. Again, there's some slight differences whether you're dealing with a living or preserved collection. I'm just going to make this as a seed bank with a botanic garden stored the same thing, just to give you the full possibilities. Obviously, very often if it's a big seed bank, you probably would have that as a separate collection, but in this case I'm just going to include living specimens as well, just for demonstration purposes. So yeah, year series auto, the format. We can just try to save this now, and then we get default accession number format. Look in the help file if you want to play with that. And then item types, we want to tell the system that we're going to store seeds, and we're going to do planting as well. So I'm just going to do seed and planting. And we can do seeds as default. So, as we're going to have both planting and seeds together, we also need to put up a map. So we're going to do that down here by clicking locations map. and we're just going to put up a new one. I'm just going to use a garden in Italy. We call it like that. You can type in the coordinates. I'm just going to do decimal degree VGS84, and here we go. That's where we want to go. Forgive me. Here we go. Yeah, okay, so I'm just going to put this map center here. That was a long break, but okay. So I'm just going to select that one. We can just use Google, or we can use Google Satellite. I will just use Google, I think. Select and close. And I'm just going to do item marker, diamond, like that. So then we go select and close, and then this map is set there. We don't need to do anything else. We can give this collection another color, just like that. So now that we've added the collection, we need to also grant ourselves access to the collection so that we can actually use it. So I'm going to go down to authorization. Oh, I need to save this as well. User accounts. You see here that the administrator has access to the trial garden and the herbarium. We also want to make sure that we have access to the seed bank. So seed bank and administrator. I'm going to save that. Now for this to take effect, we need to log in or restart, log out and log in again. So I'm going to close the program and going to start it up again. Yeah, change me, as you probably know already. So now if you look here, I can change to the seed bank. And then I can go down here under management, and we need to, before we can record accessions, we need to add locations. Now we're going to store a botanic garden together with seeds in this particular example. So I'm just going to take one called seed bank, and then so this could be cooler, so you can name and give them whatever name you find appropriate. So and then I could have done here, if I go and you can save this, and then I can also just so this is a bit tricky, but if you want to, then I want to get this, move this up. I hold the shift key down together and then get it up like that, and then we can do for example and here you can then distinguish and say that this is going to be planting and this is going to be seeds, so that you make sure that people only enter the type of material that's relevant for that part of the class. And I can finally here also put the different areas in the garden and say that the rock garden is, for example, here. Great, so to sort of finish off then, we're going to accession some seeds. So I can do that by moving over to the accession screen. And we're just going to do some pine, some ABS, let's see, sorry, ABS alba. And you know, you could sort of record all kinds of information about, typically you would have detailed information about where it came from. I'm just going to say for the time being that it's wild collected. That's enough for this example, and all the other information can be gone in here. And then we're going to say here that it's a seed, and it's in storage 1, and we received it in, let's say, December. Whoops. We received it now on the January 2016, and it was 50 seeds. And then you can save that, and then and you see that the format on the accession number is like this, and then of course you can tweak that, so you don't need that seed prefix, etc. If you have another batch, let's say you checked it today to see that it's okay, then you can say, okay, it was inventoried today, which is then if I just put the current date like that, and it's 50 still, or maybe it's 40, we just discarded, so we can do like that. So then you can see that there was 50, now it's only 40. Okay, so that is how you can set up an extra collection, in this case seeds, a seed bank. Yeah, thank you for watching.